From the moment I began delving into the intricacies of female psychology and understanding the delicate art of attraction, one phrase kept resurfacing, like an undeniable truth. If a woman doesn't respect you, she'll never love you. And while I initially accepted this as gospel, there was one crucial piece of the puzzle I didn't grasp. Respect isn't one size fits all. The respect a woman must have for you isn't the same as the respect you'd expect from others. And that distinction is what could change everything. Now, before we dive in, let me make one thing clear. If you're here expecting the same tired advice about setting boundaries, being respectful, hitting the gym, and all that surface-level stuff, then it's probably best to leave now. Sure, those things matter, but they're not the real key. What we're talking about here is the type of respect that will make her not just admire you, but fall deeper in love with you, a kind of respect that goes beyond the usual standards. So, buckle up and get ready for a whole new perspective. And hey, if you're excited to unlock these hidden truths about attraction, make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay updated on what comes next. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Let me walk you through the critical difference between ordinary respect and the kind of respect that creates real attraction and desire between a man and a woman. This distinction is one of the most important things to understand if you want to be the kind of man who commands a woman's admiration, not just in the casual, "he's a nice guy" way, but in the powerful, deeply compelling way that drives her to think about you constantly and crave your presence. There are two kinds of respect that every man should understand. The first is what I call grandfatherly respect. Think of the way a woman might respect her grandfather. He's kind, elderly, and has lived a long life. She respects him because of his age and experience. But there's no genuine sexual or romantic attraction behind it. It's the kind of respect she has for friends, especially those unfortunate souls who find themselves stuck in the friend zone. It's a kind of respect that's rooted in kindness or familiarity, but it's fundamentally neutral when it comes to desire. The second kind of respect is emperor-like respect. This is the type of respect a woman feels when she's in the presence of someone powerful, commanding, and awe-inspiring. Think of a Roman emperor, a king, or someone who doesn't just command respect by virtue of their status, but because of their presence, their confidence, and their ability to lead. It's not just about kindness or age, it's about strength, influence, and the kind of energy that makes others feel a subtle fear and admiration. This is the kind of respect that sparks attraction, makes her fantasize about you, and leaves her thinking about you long after you've left. Now, here's the vital takeaway. The respect a woman must have for you isn't the kind that comes from being nice or agreeable. It's emperor-like respect. But here's the catch. It's not something you can just snap your fingers and create overnight. In my early days, I thought respect could be built just by setting boundaries, being assertive, and showing off my skills or achievements. But I quickly found out that this type of shallow advice, though well-meaning, doesn't work. It lands you in the friend zone, stuck with respect that's as superficial as the respect you'd show an old family friend. Let's pause here for a moment and talk about something crucial: the way respect builds over time. In the beginning, you might start with zero respect from her. And that's okay. This is something I didn't realize for a long time. I used to believe that respect should be earned immediately, that if I just played by the rules, showed my worth, and set boundaries, it would come naturally. But what I discovered is that respect has to be earned through your actions and your ability to maintain your power. Here's an example to illustrate. Think about a time you were pulled over by a police officer. When he asks for your car documents, you don't just respect him because he's a nice guy. No, you respect him because he has authority and power. There's a subtle fear mixed with respect, a feeling that he has control over the situation, and that makes you behave. It's not just about boundaries, it's about the way he stands in his power, commanding respect without needing to ask for it. This is the type of respect a woman should have for you. And remember, this respect is earned by your presence, your strength, and the way you carry yourself. The most important point here is this: attractive respect is when she wants to respect you, not when you are chasing her approval. Now, let's break down how you actually build this kind of powerful, attractive respect. It comes down to two things: power and a subtle level of fear. And just to be clear, I'm not talking about fear in the sense of abuse or intimidation. I'm talking about the kind of fear that makes her excited, intrigued, and drawn to you, not scared or afraid of you in a dangerous way. We'll go over this in detail. But first, let's talk about the core element: power. Power in your relationship with a woman begins with you staying strong in your own life. What I mean by that is, your life shouldn't change because of her. Your interests, your friends, your hobbies, all of these should remain intact. Yes, you could try new things, but they should come from your own desires, not because she asked you to. For instance, if you're a smoker and decide to quit, do it for yourself, not because she told you to. She might try to make subtle comments like, "You should stop smoking," or "You should change your haircut." She might even suggest changing your friends or your job to align with her values or preferences. This is a test, and if you start changing just to make her happy, you're losing your power. And when you lose your power, you lose her respect. The more you bend to her will, the less respect she will have for you. I learned this lesson the hard way when I moved abroad for university. In those early days, I would meet new girls, and whenever we disagreed on something, I would quickly shift my opinion just to avoid conflict and to make her like me more. I thought that agreeing with her opinions would make her respect me more. But what I didn't realize was that I was surrendering my individuality and my power. The more I did this, the more I became just another guy in the friend zone. And it didn't matter how nice or interesting I was, she wasn't seeing me as a potential partner. She saw me as someone who was afraid to stand firm and show his true self. So, here's the core principle: don't change who you are for her. If you're trying to build power, your life, your goals, and your values should remain constant. But that doesn't mean you should start arguments or be aggressive when she suggests changes. Instead, remain calm and simply say, no. Don't justify yourself. Don't get defensive. Just stay true to who you are. You don't need to explain why you want to keep doing something or why you're not willing to change. It's enough to assert your boundaries firmly and calmly. This leads me to another critical point: stop apologizing unnecessarily. This is something I see all the time. Guys apologizing for things they shouldn't apologize for, just to keep the peace or avoid a confrontation. For example, if a girl wears something that you don't particularly like, and you offer her constructive criticism, don't chase her with apologies if she gets upset. If you haven't done anything wrong, don't say, "I'm sorry." Don't backtrack just to make her feel better. This constant apologizing and people-pleasing only weakens your power and diminishes the respect she has for you. In short, never apologize for being yourself, and never sacrifice something you love or care about just to please her. This is one of the biggest traps you can fall into. If she tells you to stop playing video games, don't quit just because she says so. If you stop doing what makes you happy to please her, you'll lose your power as a man. And that's the moment you'll begin to lose her respect. So, to wrap it all up, building emperor-like respect takes time, but it starts with you standing firm in who you are, never changing just for her, and never apologizing for being yourself. When you maintain your power, she'll want to respect you, and that's when the attraction begins to grow. Trust me, once you master this, you'll notice a huge difference in how women respond to you. I say this with a sense of regret because we live in a time where I even need to give you this advice. If you didn't make a mistake, don't apologize. This was a mistake I used to make all the time. And unfortunately, I still see too many men apologizing to women without any real reason. Please don't make this mistake. Before you apologize, stop and ask yourself, did I actually do something wrong? Let's take a moment to break down when you should apologize and when you shouldn't. This is something I've personally struggled with, and I've learned some valuable lessons along the way. There are 3 types of situations you might face when dealing with a woman, and each one requires a different approach. Situation 1. You didn't do anything wrong, but you said something that upset her. In this situation, you haven't done anything wrong, but something you said has upset her. Maybe you made a joke or a comment that rubbed her the wrong way. Here's the key: don't apologize. Instead, lighten the mood, tease her a little, Joke around with her and show her that you're not taking the situation too seriously. A simple, "I didn't mean to upset you, but if you want to get mad, you're going to have to work a little harder," can help shift the energy. By doing this, you're showing that you are confident and unshaken by her emotions, which will only increase her attraction to you. Women respect men who aren't quick to apologize or grovel. Situation 2. You made a small mistake. Now, let's say you made a small mistake. Perhaps you forgot her birthday or didn't pick up the small gift you promised. This happens, but in this case, your apology should be brief and to the point. Don't over-apologize or beg for forgiveness. A simple "sorry, I messed up," followed by giving her space, is all you need. Don't chase after her or constantly apologize. That's a trap. The best thing you can do is leave her alone to cool off. She might need a little time, and you must resist the urge to beg or plead for her attention. Give her space, and when she's ready to talk, she'll come to you. Don't initiate more apologies. Instead, let her come to you when she's ready. Situation 3. You made a big mistake. If you've done something major, something like cheating or something that truly breaks her trust, this is where a sincere apology is necessary. But even in this situation, you need to approach it in the right way. A big mistake calls for genuine effort. You can go out of your way to apologize. Maybe buy her a gift or visit her to express how sorry you are. In cases of serious mistakes, actions speak louder than words. But even in these instances, don't grovel or make excuses. Show through your actions that you understand the weight of what you've done. If you truly regret the mistake, show her that with concrete gestures. However, if she doesn't want to forgive you, respect her decision. A genuine apology and effort are important, but there's only so much you can do. What to do when she's at fault? Now, let's switch gears and talk about what to do when she's the one who has made a mistake. How you handle this situation is equally important in establishing respect and maintaining your power in the relationship. Situation 1. She said something that upset you. If she says something that gets under your skin or bothers you, don't react emotionally or show anger. Stay calm. Don't get upset. As a man, you shouldn't be caught up in drama. Showing that you're unaffected by her words will only elevate your status in her eyes. Don't let her see that her words have rattled you. In fact, respond calmly and confidently, as if you're not fazed at all. This conveys strength and control, two qualities that are incredibly attractive. Situation 2. She cancels or disrespects your time. Let's say she calls you at the last minute to cancel plans or doesn't respect the time you've set aside for her. In this case, don't get angry, but do hold her accountable. Here's an example of how to handle it. If she calls to cancel, don't just accept it. Instead, you can say, "You're messing up your chances with me," and hang up. By doing this, you're showing that you won't tolerate her behavior. If she calls back to apologize, you can tell her, "All right, I'll give you another shot, but here's what I want. Write me an apology letter and email it to me within 24 hours. Be serious about this." If she refuses, just say, "Have a nice day," and hang up. Don't call her again unless she contacts you first. In this case, the consequences of her actions will reinforce your boundaries. You're showing that there are consequences when she doesn't respect your time or your efforts. This keeps her on her toes and prevents her from taking you for granted. Situation 3. She's made a major mistake, like cheating. If she's done something unforgivable, like cheating, it's crucial that you don't react in anger. Instead, you need to make a decision that is firm and unshakable. End the relationship. Yes, this may be hard, but in the long run, it's the best choice for both of you. If you forgive her, she will lose respect for you. She might stay with you, but it's likely she'll only do so to take advantage of your weakness. If you accept her back after a serious betrayal, she will never truly see you as the strong, independent man she once might have respected. And deep down, she will know that she can walk all over you. So, in this situation, it's essential to have the strength to walk away. The relationship is likely beyond repair, and no amount of forgiveness will restore the respect she once had for you. In any relationship, whether it's a small issue or a major mistake, You must always remember this. Don't apologize unnecessarily. Keep your dignity, your power, and your self-respect intact. Be willing to stand firm in your decisions and your boundaries. And never be afraid to let someone face the consequences of their actions, whether it's you or her. Ultimately, this is what builds respect and attraction in a healthy relationship. By the way, let me go off topic for a moment and give you a golden tip that can truly transform your approach to relationships. Never let her get you mad or upset. If a girl's actions can get under your skin to the point where you lose your cool, then it's a glaring sign that you're not in control. And worse, she's the one who is holding the reins. When she can provoke you emotionally, it means she's driving the car and you're simply along for the ride. There will inevitably be times when a girl may say something harsh, hurtful, or simply mean. But here's the crucial point. Do not, under any circumstances, react with anger or frustration. Asterisk, this is where a lot of men go wrong. And I don't want you to fall into that trap. Instead, you need to develop an emotional composure that makes you unshakable. Much like the rock standing firm in the middle of a storm, unaffected by the winds around him. Whatever she says, you should act as though it's water off a duck's back. You see, often, girls will push you to see how you respond in difficult situations. This is one of the subtle tests they put you through. And if you react exactly as she expects, getting angry, upset, or losing control, then you've already failed the test. You've handed her your power. And with that, you've lost her respect. You've just proven that her behavior can influence you. But if you remain calm, unfazed, and unbothered, it demonstrates strength and control, and it increases your value in her eyes. Now, let's shift focus a little bit. Moving from power, let's talk about the second core component that builds real attraction: fear. But don't get it twisted. This isn't about creating negative fear or causing harm. This is a kind of fear that is both healthy and desirable. It's the kind of fear that adds an element of excitement, mystery, and desire to a relationship. Let me break this down for you and explain how it works. To understand how fear builds attraction, we need to start with a foundational principle that drives much of human behavior. Investment equals attraction, which then equals respect. Asterisk, I've touched on the idea of investment in previous discussions. But now we'll look at how it directly connects to both attraction and respect. Most men, unfortunately, make a huge mistake when they try to win a woman over. They think that their investment in her is the key to getting her to like them. So, they take her to fancy dinners, buy her expensive gifts, drive her around in a luxurious car, and shower her with constant attention. But where does that lead? Straight to the friend zone. My friend, she appreciates the gifts, but she doesn't feel any real desire for him. Meanwhile, the guy who invests little, but who treats her with a certain level of distance and mystery, is often the one she's actually drawn to. And this doesn't mean that being kind or thoughtful is a bad thing. Of course, it's important to show her that you care. But there's a balance. What's the takeaway from this? It's not your investment in her that matters. It's her investment in you. Think about it. The more time, energy, and money you pour into her without her putting in anything in return, the more attached you become to her. But the less she feels the same way. The more you chase her, the more you try to impress her, the more she sees you as someone she can take for granted. But here's the thing, if you reverse the dynamic, and she starts to invest more in you, the attraction will naturally grow. This shift makes a big difference. You see, the more she invests emotionally, the more her fear of losing you grows. And fear is a powerful motivator. Here's something important you need to know. The more you invest in something, the more you fear losing it. Asterisk, let me give you an example that will make this concept even clearer. Imagine you have a piggy bank and every day you put $20 in it. At first, you don't care much about it. It's just a small amount, so you're not worried about it being lost or stolen. But as time goes by, you keep adding to it, and eventually, your piggy bank holds $33,000. Now, all of a sudden, you're worried about it getting lost or stolen, right? Why? Because you've invested so much into it that you can't afford to lose it anymore. The more you invest, the more you fear its loss. It's the same principle in relationships. When a girl starts to invest in you, whether through time, emotions, or effort, she begins to fear losing you. And that fear is not necessarily a bad thing. It's the kind of fear that strengthens the bond and creates respect. Here's the thing that most guys don't understand. If you're the one always investing in her and doing everything to keep her happy, you will be the one who fears losing her. But if you flip the script and she begins to invest in you, her fear of losing you naturally increases. And that's when the attraction builds. So, the key is to make her invest in you. But how do you do that? It's simple. You create a situation where she feels like she has to earn your attention, your time, and your affection. You cannot give it all away for free. Let her put in the effort. And when she does, the value of what she's investing will make her fear losing you. And this fear will lead to stronger respect for you. Why? Because, just like the piggy bank analogy, the more she puts in, the more she values what she has. The more she fears losing you, the more she will respect you. And the more she respects you, the more she will be attracted to you. This is how the cycle of attraction, respect, and fear builds and strengthens. In the end, it's not about manipulation. It's about creating a dynamic where she feels both the desire to invest in you and the fear of losing you. This balance is the foundation of a powerful, attraction-filled relationship. To wrap things up, let's take a step back and reflect on what we've discussed. The dynamics of attraction and respect aren't as complicated as many people make them out to be. The reality is simple. Women are drawn to power, not just the kind of power that's physical or financial, but the deeper, more profound power that stems from self-respect, control, and emotional independence. And when you understand this, when you embrace this truth, everything shifts. The respect she has for you will be on a level that makes her want to invest in you. Not just emotionally, but in every way that truly matters. But here's the catch. This transformation doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, practice, and the ability to hold your ground. It takes the courage to remain calm and unfazed when life and women throw you curveballs. It takes a mental shift from chasing validation to creating a space where she wants to earn your respect and investment. If you master this, you'll never have to worry about being stuck in the friend zone again. You'll become the kind of man who inspires awe, attraction, and real emotional investment. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, this all sounds great, but how do I put it into action? Don't worry, I've got you covered. There's a whole world of strategies and deeper insights waiting for you. But this isn't something I can give you all at once. And it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. That's why I'm inviting you to join the community and stay connected. We're just getting started. If you want to keep learning and apply these principles to your life, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button if you found value in this video and want to see more content like this. And don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear your experiences and what topics you'd like me to dive into next. Together. We'll continue this journey, unlocking the power of attraction, respect, and real confidence in our relationships. Remember, you are in control, and the respect and attraction you desire are yours for the taking. It all starts with you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep building that power, keep cultivating that respect, and never let anyone take your control.